This is part 2 of the story that was the final straw in leading me to completely uninvest myself from the stock market. I was doing consulting work for BP in the early 2000s, and at the time, John Brown was the leader, the CEO of BP, and he was a visionary CEO. He was the first of the oil and gas CEOs to put a stake in the ground and to come out and acknowledge the environmental impact of the industry. He committed BP to specific goals in reducing CO2 emissions, and he launched ambitious projects and research programs in alternative and renewable energies. I remember going to the BP offices, and there was digital signage all over the campus displaying the number of kilowatt hours that BP had generated. It was a lot of fun, actually. The people in the BP offices were enthusiastic and excited and very proud of the work that they were able to do and the projects that they were on. And even though I wasn't technically an employee, I got caught up in the excitement myself. I was involved in several major capital projects that involved green operations. But unfortunately, in 2007, John Brown was replaced due to a personal scandal, and the person who replaced him, Tony Hayward, moved quickly to align himself with a cost-cutting strategy. He slashed budgets that had been committed and allocated to renewable projects and alternative energies. And in the process, he cut hundreds of jobs, citing the ever-popular shareholder pressure to improve profitability. And he did, unsurprisingly, cut costs and improve profitability. And he became a darling of Wall Street. The people working there at BP, who had been so proud, tried hard to keep the faith, but it was a gut check, and you could feel the dropping of the mood over the months to come. And then in 2010, came the Deepwater Horizon incident. 11 lives lost and a deep grief that reached far beyond the Gulf of Mexico and far beyond the rig, that just pervaded the offices and the company. And I knew it would never be the same. And I knew I would never be the same. It really hurt. And it was the tipping point for me. And I knew I had to do something different. And that's what precipitated my decision to uninvest myself from the stock market. It's not like I'm not still invested in these same systems in other ways, including the fact that I've been a consultant to large corporates for most of my career. But there was a way in which that was important to me. I'm not advocating it as the right decision for everyone, but I would invite you to consider that your investment is a communication. And it's time for us to communicate what we care about. Let me know your thoughts and reflections in the comments.